This week's portion, Shemini, includes the tragic event, the deaths of the two sons of Aaron, Nadav and Avihu. It was actually a glorious day, the day of the dedication of the tabernacle, the Mishkan, and the holy Mishkan in the desert. And Nadav and Avihu, the Torah says they took upon themselves something that they were not commanded to do. And the Torah says that they brought a strange fire, a strange offering that they were not commanded to bring. And therefore their lives were taken. What led them to do what they did? And the Medrash explains, Yalkut Shimoni Medrash says, that they didn't confer with one another. They had this idea that, hey, what a great idea, let's bring this extra offering. Yeah, we weren't commanded, let's do it. And each one on their own, they came upon this idea. They didn't discuss it. It sounds from the Medrash that had they discussed it with one another, they would have realized it's a mistake and we should not do it. The Rosh Yeshiva, my teacher of blessed memory, Rabbi Henoch Leibowitz, he looks at this Medrash and understands the Medrash that they did not confer with one another. It's more than, what do you think? What do you think? It's the fact that they didn't speak it out. And the Rosh Yeshiva understands this. What happened was that had they spoken about it to one another, they would have realized, each one on their own would have realized, I should not be doing this. And this teaches us about the power of speech. That when we speak, it clarifies the mind. Of course, in Pirkei Avos, we learn, yes, have a good friend and discuss things, and a good friend will set you straight. And a good friend, when you ask a good friend, he'll tell you if you're doing right or wrong. Yes, that's true. But there's something more here. There's something that this Medrash is teaching us. Just by saying it, just by verbalizing it, it clarifies the mind. So we learn from here the connection between speaking and thinking. Meaning that as much as we think, well, I thought it out and I have it clear, if we don't verbalize it, then there's an element of clarity that we might very well be missing. This teaches us how important it is to speak and to use the power of speech. In other words, speaking clarifies, makes the mind, brings clarity into the mind, out of the mind. This for sure is why when we daven, when we pray, you look at the siddur and you think of the words. When you say it, in the laws in davening, it's not just looking at the words, it's saying the words. Because when you say, it clarifies the mind. There's a concept in prayer called piv v'livo shavin. The mouth and the heart are equal. In other words, the mouth helps clarify the mind. So let's take this lesson and use it, and there's so many uses, when we have an idea, we have a concept, and there's something that we want to do. Just talking to another person, just the talking itself can make it clear and help us understand exactly what we're doing, and sometimes we'll realize we're actually making a mistake. When we daven, say the words. When we study Torah, it's not just looking at the Mishnah, looking at the Talmud, looking at the Torah, but it's verbalizing that helps us clarify. Verbalizing. The gift of speech is a gift that separates us. The Targum Onkelos explains that that's what separates us from animals. It's the gift of speech. The gift of speech goes much further than the speaking. The gift of speech is a gift of helping us to think and to clarify. Have a magnificent, beautiful Shabbos.